Hey guys, what the frick is up? Today I'm back with the dark side of K-pop series. Today I will be talking about slave contracts in K-pop. I hope you will enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. If anyone doesn't know what slave contracts is, here's the definition. A slave contract refers to an unfair, long-term contract between Korean idols and their management agencies. Aspiring K-pop idols, known as trainees, sign contracts with management agencies when the trainee is as young as 12 or 13 years old or even younger. It may take 10 years for an agency to groom the trainee and for them to debut on stage. According to the former head of the Korea Entertainment Law Society, both trainees and K-pop idols who have debuted typically live in dormitories, where their management agencies control their diets, their love lives, and their behavior. Under most contracts, trainees and K-pop idols are required to pay back their management agencies for the cost of singing and dancing lessons, their wardrobes and living costs, among other things. As a result, K-pop idols may not make large profits. Many K-pop groups often take years to break even, and thus do not receive their share of any profits made from their songs, until their trainee debt is paid off. From what we know, as Blackpink is on YG, they did not have to pay off trainee debt. Neither do those on JIP and SM, but there's a ton of false information out there, spread by people who dislike certain agencies and people who dislike pop in general. Idols have a lot more responsibilities in their contracts compared to Western celebrities. At the same time, they are provided with a lot more structured help, education, and promotion as well. They are usually full-time, learning music theory, dance practice, touring, doing commercials or appearances on TV dramas or variety shows. Many idols re-up their contracts if they are allowed to, and many others who aren't able to are saddened by not getting them. It doesn't mean there's not unfavorable contracts, but a lot of what you see online should be taken with more than a grain of salt. For a young budding pop idol wannabe, obviously being signed and having a secure contract sounds very promising, but even after going through the rigors of trainee life, actual idol life becomes even more demanding, stressful and tiring mentally, physically and emotionally. So on the one hand you want that job security, and on the other hand your desire for the position may change. For the company that have spent much money and time in developing trainees, nothing but a long contract would seem right to them. The idea that they spent a lot of time dedicating to quality teachers, trainers and facilities, that the idol should dedicated to paying that back in addition to making their own wealth. Stipulation of the slave contracts has been reported to have been long and intense hours. These contracts start at training, and whilst it might seem severe, it can be seen as the best way to prepare future idols. The experience is tough, and only the motivated and those who really want the lifestyle will make it through it. Those who are too weak, mentally or physically, will fall to the wayside and not become idols. This may seem harsh, but the companies are protecting their investments as well as protecting the prospective idols from breakdowns in the future. The idols and groups spend a lot of time touring, as it is one of the key ways that money is brought in. Singles and albums don't sell as well. Fans pay a lot of money to see their idols live, so the performances have to be good. Therefore copious hours of training must be undertaken. One understandable and quite sensible reason for the contracts is to recoup costs from the training periods of all current idols as well as those who didn't make it. The cost of training idols is effectively a loan that the future idols have to pay back. The cost of manufacturing a group is huge. Vocal coaches, choreographers, stylists, makeup artists, accommodation, living expenses and staff payments are but a few items on the bill. The money from the success of the idol or group goes to paying off all of the staff behind the scenes after what has been proven to have been 7 years of hard work in the past, like 2AM's Jockwon from JIP Entertainment. After the company recoups its costs, there is sometimes very little left for the artists. One of the part of slave contract is the trainee period. Here's how the trainee period probably looks like. Many groups such as Winner, Icon, Twice, and Monster X have taken part in pre-debut and post-debut reality shows in order to catch the public's interest and to show the challenges they must overcome to achieve their dreams. These shows, however, do not always give a complete, or entirely accurate, picture of what trainee life is like behind the scenes. The former trainee shared the hardships she experienced behind closed doors. Here's what ex-SM trainee said about her trainee days. If you're late or go against the rules, you have to sing while running around the practice room 10 times. You train by singing while doing sit-ups and while someone hits your stomach in order to develop muscle and vocal power. If you do anything wrong, you write about what you did wrong and you aren't allowed to practice until you can clearly state what you did wrong. They check your body fat percentage every month and teach you manners and attitude. During meditation, you have to sit there for an hour and you can't even open your eyes, and after they tell you to write down what you did wrong that week. They teach you instruments and play random notes on the piano and make you guess which note it is. Everything is on schedule and there's homework. It's easier to go to school for 30 years. They say learning pop songs is important and language is considered very important. If you don't improve but you're pretty, they tell you to stay underwater and hold your breath for 5 minutes, and make you sit in a V, and drop basketballs on your stomach when you breathe. I wanted to go to school and eat and hang out with friends, so I cried a lot. During council time, if you say you want to do those things, they say if you want to do that, you can leave. It's been a while and I used to think becoming a singer was my only path and I would die if I couldn't be on, but now that I quit, I feel like I'm fine not going that path. In fact, I feel better. It's been a while but still I can't forget those days. SM got much of its reputation for slave contracts during the TVXQ breakup back in 2009. 3 members of the group sued SM Entertainment on the grounds that the group's 13-year contract was absurdly long and they were only receiving the barest fraction of the profits from their promotions. These were certainly legitimate reasons for complaint, and in the aftermath of that trial, contracts of the length SM used to prefer have been banned. Not for lack of trying on SM's part, of course, and they punished the departing members of TVXQ by blacklisting them and doing everything possible to prevent them from appearing in Korean media. Only a few years later, several members of EXO expressed their own serious issues with the company and departed. SM is known for their slave contracts. One of example is the EXO Chinese members suing SM 5 months later after Chris left EXO. The former EXO member Luan also followed with a departure from the group and legal action against SM. SM treated EXO K, filled with Korean members, differently from how they treated the EXO M members with Chinese members, Luan said in the lawsuit. From the beginning of our debut, EXO K received support from SM and actively did promotions, but EXO M had no promotions, received no financial backing, and endured a difficult time. He sued SM Entertainment in October 2014 for breach of contract. His withdrawal was the least controversial out of all 3 of them, although it also did cause a huge stir amongst the group and the fandom. He most likely informed his bandmates that he'll leave a long time before he did, because none of them looked exceptionally surprised about it as opposed to when it came to Chris and Tao departure. What went down with Tao amongst all of the members? It was Tao who was greatly affected by Chris' departure. He decided to bring his thoughts to the popular social media network Instagram. In an Instagram post after Chris' withdrawal, Tao expressed that he felt betrayed and thought that Chris intentionally hid all of his plans from the group, putting them in a compromise. The post exact text was far from respectful towards his bandmate and was deleted a couple of months later. Good things and bad things will always switch, so when it comes to alleged betrayal, no one should be to blame. If somebody of this group wishes to leave, we can't keep him from leaving. Tao. In March 2015, EXO released their sophomore album Exodus, which spawned the hit single Call Me Baby. During the promotional rounds for the album, Tao was evidently missing from their performances, as it was reported that he is seeking treatment for his ankle injury that he got from his appearance in MBC's Idol Futsal World Cup in February 2015. Tao's father posted a letter in the Chinese social media site Weibo in the 22nd of April, 2015, in which he stated that he wishes for Tao to leave the group. He cites that the lack of support from SM Entertainment in terms of his recovery from his sustained injuries has compromised his son greatly. Thus he believes that leaving the group will serve as the best for Tao. From then on, Tao went on an abrupt hiatus from EXO, and has remained in China for the time being. A long time before Tao's father announced that he wants his son to go back to China, Tao was captured in multiple occasions traveling with a wheelchair, not being able to walk, yet was still forced to perform and train for hours and hours in a row, which led him to sue SM and left the group in 2015. In 2017, the KFTC again put restrictions on entertainment contracts. Among other things, The 2017 reforms reduced the financial penalties for K-pop trainees that break their contracts early and made it more difficult for companies to force K-pop idols to renew their contracts. The slave contracts since then are officially banned. Okay, anyways, I think I explained everything. I'm honestly really glad that the slave contract is banned now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. By the way, I really hope everything will change in K-pop. Things are definitely going way too far. Stop the hate and ignorance.